It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots Podcast, and today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores, the marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. There are no hidden fees or price hikes, and all websites are optimized for mobile. And it's so simple. Start with a design template and use drag and drop tools to make it your own. Head to squarespace.com/idiot for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code IDIOT to save 10% off your first purchase. Let's start the show. Big Wax is here.
Yeah.
Fresh off a live Bullying the Beast podcast.
Yes, man.
How was it, man?
It's dope, man. Sold out. I thought I was going to get the jitteries more. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how do Schultz and them go up here and actually do this?
Half of the water is on your shirt.
This is hilarious.
Dude,
he does
that
every
was
time.
were you in a wide shot for when that happened? That was so impressive. Dude, that was, you were
I
looking
think y'all
at him.
did that on purpose, man. My shit was loose.
Oh, it was the bottle. You were paying full attention to him as half the water was cascading down your shirt. That was so impressive. That was so impressive. Okay, tell us about your show. You said you thought you were going to get the jitteries?
I thought I was going to get like really like the butterflies, like when I used to play football and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't as nervous. I guess if I was up there by myself, I probably would have, but.
How many times did Taylor come on stage? Answer the important questions. How many times did T. Diddy get all up in the video?
She definitely had the emails. Everybody said, what's up, T. Diddy? She got to make sure she have that. She didn't have a segment like we and her, so I lost some money.
Oh, hold on. What she was reading emails, and every email she said started off, what's up, T. Diddy?
Everything. That's the only way to get on the show, actually, is to say T. Diddy name is at the email. It's the only way. Everybody know it, too. They be like, oh, I almost forgot. Hey, T. Diddy, that's the only way for me to get on. Okay, what's up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? So I lost some bread. I thought she was going to get her own little segment on the show, but she stayed back. She was cool. It was a really dope show.
I saw her post. You know the first thing I saw her post was, my live show sold out. My first live show sold out. I said, go ahead.
That's her, man.
It was her show.
It was definitely her show because she came late and everything. L'Oreal like, where's this? Where's that? They're like, where T. Diddy at? Oh, she out there getting ready.
Make my goddamn list.
She was getting ready.
She was getting ready.
What you mean?
She was in the dressing room. The door was like L'Oreal tried to get into the room.
Stop playing, yo.
I'm dead serious.
Stop playing.
I'm dead serious. The door was in there. She had the people in there getting her done for the show. We was like, I didn't expect nothing else.
What do you mean getting her done for the show?
What you mean she getting ready for the show?
Makeup and hair?
Yes.
Man, stop playing.
What are you talking about? What? You expect anything else?
No, I actually don't. God damn.
I ain't expect nothing else either.
Well, congrats on a great live show.
Blessings,
well
man.
done,
God
T.
bless,
Diddy.
man.
How was the week? I think we know why we're here.
Jesus.
Well, we're here, bro.
Definitely because of Jesus.
I
I want to talk Rogan, man.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's old news, bro.
I still
It's
don't know what
definitely
happened.
it's definitely old news.
Yeah.
It's definitely old news. I actually I really liked what India Ari said yesterday.
What did she say yesterday?
Sir.
Well, number one, she said she don't think Joe Rogan is racist. She just thought it was insensitive, and she said that she's not into cancel culture.
So
She actually
what was her initial comments? Because I think she's commenting on her initial thing. She was like, take my stuff off Spotify.
Yeah, and she expounded on that. Her initial comments was, Spotify pays artists pennies, but pays Rogan $100 million, and Rogan says things like this. She was like, it wasn't even just the COVID misinformation. I put that in air quotes. It was his language around race. But what she said yesterday was real, man. She was like, yo, I don't believe in cancellation. I believe in curation.
Yeah.
Meaning, I chose to step away from Spotify because I don't want to be on a platform
Yeah.
that supports that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, yo, that's what everybody should do. We live in a curation culture.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, just simply don't listen. And she said she's not into censorship. And I'm gonna be honest, man. That's not even having. I don't gotta be honest. It's the truth. If you're a radio personality, podcaster, rapper, comedian, artist in general, anybody that does this for a living, if you open your mouth and words come out for a living, you can't be for censorship.
Yeah, that is correct.
And if you are if you are from a certain era, there is no way in hell you can look at Joe Rogan and be like, that's fucked up.
Right.
That's what kills me about all of this.
Yeah.
The lack of self-awareness that some people have, the hypocrisy that some people have.
Did you see the YouTube live between Dave Portnoy? You know Dave Portnoy?
Yeah,
He runs
from
Barstool.
Barstool.
Yeah. So he did a YouTube live with the three dudes that I guess are running this company that populated the internet with the Rogan's video.
Mhm.
So they were like sharing it with a bunch of stuff. And I could be getting this wrong, so forgive me if I get it wrong, but more or less they were involved in like sharing this with celebs and specifically targeting like black celebs, black entertainers, et cetera, to kind of galvanize the internet and push it. And he's doing this whole thing, and they're like, "No, it's not our fault, and freedom of speech, et cetera." And again, I could be getting this wrong, but towards the end, he goes, "Now, what if?" So none of you guys. So the guy goes to Rogan. He goes, "So to Portnoy, he goes, so you promise you'll never use the N-word ever again on broadcast?" Because Portnoy had been sung it in a song or a couple things, right? And he goes, "Yeah, I've already said I'm not going to do that." And then Portnoy goes, "Do you guys promise you'll never use it again?" And they're like, "We never use it." And he goes, "What if I said I had a text message from one of you guys where you used the N-word in a text message?" And they're like, "That's never happened. What are you even talking about?" And he goes, "Does one of you guys have a fiance named Lexi?"
Holy shit.
Bro, this is happening live.
Holy shit.
Bro, this is happening live, dude. And they're like, "What are you even talking about?" And yo, these guys who are supposed to be on the same team, supposed to be brother, the way that one dude dogged out his homie so fucking fast, he goes, "Well, that would be Jared's fiance."
Wow.
Immediately, bro. And then he's like, "No, that never happened." He goes, "What if I have a text message where you use that in a text?"
Wow.
So we started thinking about this. I mean, you were even hitting me up yesterday, like this, you're going to look back at everybody's shit. I was talking about this the other day, like, yo, if they just release the Call of Duty or Fortnite transcripts of these little 14-year-olds, all they need to do is release that shit. And everybody, cancel culture's done, baby.
The whole alphabet they say.
These little kids say everything.
Let me run forensics on anybody's phone.
Son, over.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, I said it before and I say it again. I don't think there's ever room for a white person to use the N-word just simply because I don't think any of us should use it, but definitely a white person because it's just like there's no upside to it. Right?
Yo, and I think so if you listen to Rogan, he agrees. Like there's this
100%.
weird conversation that happened on the internet when we were calling out that this is like a clear hit piece on Rogan.
Yes.
And the people were saying, "Oh, there's a lot of white people out here justifying him using the N-word." And it's like, Rogan doesn't even justify it. Rogan's like, "I regret doing it. That's why I apologize. Like, I wish I didn't do it." He didn't call anybody the N-word. I mean, it's up to you guys to decide in what way it can be used and worse and not use at all, obviously. But it's not like he was speaking about the word, right?
He was speaking about the word. He was talking about titles of albums. He was quoting comedians. The Planet of the Apes thing was the worst one to me. But even
and
with
he
that,
says that's the most regrettable.
And but by the way, that was 12 years ago. We've all made fucked up,
jokes,
terrible jokes. And,
Yes.
I listen to Joe Rogan. I don't know him personally like you do. I met him twice, but I've been listening to him over a decade. The one thing I've always liked about Joe is his self-awareness.
Yes.
Right? So if you go back and watch the Planet of the Apes thing, even in that commentary, he literally goes, "Oh, my bad, that's fucked up. That was racist." And then he switches and starts talking about the love how he loved being in that environment and how he enjoyed watching in the movie in that setting, whatever. But it's just like, man, the thing that really got me this week was just the lack of self-awareness of some people because I'm watching certain folks take him to task and I'm like, bro, I've been following you for years. And what happened on Monday morning, literally, everybody started getting aired out. Mm-hmm. All of these different people started getting aired out. All of these different things they said on blogs back in the day. All these different things they said on television or in comedy shows. The Young Turks thing was very interesting to me. You know what I mean? Because I fuck with the Young Turks. I'm still going to fuck with the Young Turks. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like, you called them out, then they came with their own N-word compilation on them, right?
And theirs was wild, bro.
And what was interesting, one of the anchors from the Young Turks doubled down and was like, whenever we used the N-word, we used it while we were quoting racists. And they were like, cancel us if you want. And I'm like, I don't think that was the way that should have been handled. And I'm sure she might have apologized by now. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But it's like the thing Rogan didn't double down. He didn't triple down. Like, yo, I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm going to I've been stopped using the word. I'm definitely going to do better moving forward. The conversation I think we're not having is, I saw people say like, he caters to the right. I don't think he caters to the right. I think he's just a curious person who's willing to sit down with any and everybody. I think the problem is the left has made Rogan so radioactive.
Yep.
that they're afraid to go sit down with him because they're afraid about the backlash they'll get from sitting down with him.
Fauci. Oh, you're talking to this now. You're talking
Absolutely.
So they paint him as radioactive so that they don't have to talk about. You know, it's so funny. The first time I went on Rogan, I literally said that. I was like, "That's the strategy. Paint someone as radioactive, then you don't even have to talk to them. So now you don't even have to engage in
Discourse.
intercourse.
Yeah.
You don't have to get in intercourse, but like." You don't even have to have that, and not even debate, just like exchange ideas. Like, dude, I would love to see Fauci on Rogan.
Shouldn't you? By the way, if for somebody who has an audience that big, and if you think he's putting out misinformation, go sit with him.
Damn, Fauci will go on every fucking podcast, every CNN show with 500,000 viewers. The guy's getting 11 million a day. Why would you not go on to the podcast? If you really cared about sharing information, especially if you cared about sharing information to the people that are most skeptical about what you're saying, if you truly cared about helping, you would go to the place where you could help the most people,
100%,
right? That's why it's cap.
100%. Because one thing I also noticed about Rogan, if Rogan...
Here she is.
T. Diddy.
Yeah.
Peace, Chrissy.
Hi.
If Rogan knows about the information someone's talking about, he'll challenge them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If he has an opposing view, he'll challenge them. I have not seen it. I have not seen him have these people on his show and not challenge them. That's why I enjoy listening. Now, some people will say, if he doesn't know what he's talking about, he just listens to the person.
Yeah,
that's what an interviewer is supposed to do.
Yeah. That's how it works.
I get that all the time as a broadcaster. I'll be sitting there having a conversation with somebody. I'm listening to what the person has to say. And then I see all the comments on YouTube, people challenging what the person said, this and that. Great. If I don't have the information, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I'm just a curious person who likes to sit and talk with people. It's not our fault that these doctors and whoever else would rather go to Rogan, would rather go to the Breakfast Club, would rather sit on The View. Because the so-called experts on the CNNs and the Foxes and the MSNBCs, either they're not willing to engage with these people, or they don't have the reach. I don't know what it is.
Or they're not allowed.
Are they not allowed?
Or they're towing the company line and they're saying exactly what the company wants them to say. Right? Remember when we were about to run out of masks in the beginning?
Yeah.
Right? And they said, you don't need a mask.
Fauci said that.
Literally, Fauci. And why did he say that? Not because you didn't need one, because they were like, hey, we need to save all the masks for the hospital people. So don't go out and buy all the masks. So if we know that they're willing to, quote unquote, misinform.
Yeah, for the better for them.
For what they believe is the benefit. I'm not even saying misinform for bad reasons. I think a lot of times government misinforms because they're like, if we told them the truth, they wouldn't do it. It's almost like with your kids, right? It's just like, you got to brush your teeth. Why? Or your teeth will fall out. They ain't really going to fall out, but I got to tell you that so you take this shit seriously. Hey, the global warming, we got to take this seriously. Why? Because in 20 years, we're all going to be underwater.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I plan on being here in 20 years. I guess I got to take it seriously. We're not going to be underwater in 20 years.
Listen, I agree with all of that. And I also think sometimes they just don't know the truth.
Yeah.
They really just don't know. Yeah. So it's like,
really don't.
There's things Dr. Fauci said 2 years ago that would be considered misinformation now. When he went out there and said nobody should wear a mask, whatever, only doctors and stuff should wear masks, that could be considered misinformation.
Also,
now.
You don't think Dr. Fauci said an N-word, bro? The guy's an 80-year-old Italian. Not one, bro. Find me that video, bro.
Eggplant, at least.
Listen, I'm not...
Eggplant, what, a moulignon?
What?
A moolie?
Yeah. They always call me a fucking moolie.
You don't know what that is?
Yes, I do. I didn't know what that. I thought that was black. What was that?
It's what Italians would call black people.
Yeah.
Moulignon means eggplant in Italian.
Yeah.
Yes. Eddie Murphy had that hilarious skit. The moolie's gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been saying all week. My thing is, I'm not in no moral position as a broadcaster to have an opinion about Joe Rogan. And I'm gonna tell you something. The reason I'm gonna be consistent in my message, and the same reason I'm consistent in all my messages when it comes to any of this stuff, is because this can happen to any of us at any given time. This will happen to your favorite person. This will happen to the person that you love. This will happen to that person that you think is so great. One of my favorite things to do is letting people tell his age, well, even though Taylor's getting up there, letting people tell his age, letting people nile his age, 30, 20-something, hear stuff from our era. Yeah. They can't believe it.
Yeah. That's how y'all used to be?
Like they literally cannot believe the things comedians used to say, the things people used to rap about, the things that used to be in movies. It's unbelievable to them. I was watching the old Howard Stern sketch.
Wow.
Let me tell you how ill Howard is. Howard went on The View in 2019.
I couldn't believe that.
Alex said he couldn't believe. How old are you, Alex?
33.
33. But this is the ill part. When Howard went on The View in 2019, Sonny was like, you used to really have some real offensive stuff on your show back in the day. You used to use the N-word all the time. Howard goes, I did not. He goes, wait a minute. I did not used to use the N-word. I used to have a character on there who was a member of the KKK. He used to use the N-word. And then whoever did it slices the video, the Howard with the blackface on, pretending to be Ted Danson, and he got George Jefferson Sherman Hemsley pretending to be Whoopi Goldberg. He let so many N-words fly.
Oh my, it got uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What do you call? What do you call a black pilot?
An N-word. Whoa. What do you call a black astronaut? An N-word. You smell an N-word. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And he was actually pushing the line and using the word in a really negative context.
Now let's give context to this thing. It made me feel uncomfortable watching, but the context is Ted Danson, who was dating Whoopi Goldberg, went to Friar's roast in blackface. And what Howard was basically saying is, Ted, it is racist what you did. And we're going to show how racist it is by creating the exaggerated version of it.
Absolutely.
So he basically he thinks he can get away with it. No, again. He thinks he can get away with it.
He could in that era.
And in that era.
You know how you know he could?
He did.
He did. Exactly. That's my point.
Have y'all seen the Carlin bit about the N-word?
Yes.
That is
Carlin. I seen Louis C.K.
No, the Carlin one is the wildest one. And rest in peace, Carlin. But he
no, I do remember, but I can't remember. I just remember him saying
basically says this. He says the point is like a word by itself is nothing, right?
Oh, but when you add stuff to it,
context to the word, who is saying the word, like the N-word by itself is nothing, but the racist redneck saying it makes it bad, right? And he goes, that's why black people can say the N-word, right? Or that's why Richard Pryor and blah blah can say the N-word, right? Because then he goes, because they're N-words. They're allowed to because we know that they don't hate other black people. And that's why I guess it's okay. He's trying to make the point, but he drops it and
hard ER.
I don't even know, but it's just wild. What was happening at this time? Were we just not asking black people how they felt about it? Was that really low key? Because here's the thing. I was thinking about this and I was like, when I was younger in high school, we read Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, yeah.
Out loud.
Yeah.
Every kid
With
had a
the
paragraph.
N-word.
A paragraph. And I went to a diverse high school, right? So, you're just seeing if your paragraph got an N-word. And the teacher basically said, yo, if you want to say it, you can say it. If you don't want to say it, you don't have to, right? So these poor Asian kids who they're first generation, they don't even know what most of the words mean. So they're reading it. They're just sounding shit out like you're just reading a Spanish billboard.
Man,
bro, I swear to God.
It's a bit.
No, I swear to God, I'm not like, I should make a joke of it, but I can't say the N-word. But they would literally, and we would calculate it. We'd be like, ooh, yeah, that's got a bunch of N-words right there. That's a paragraph with Jim. Jim saying that shit, right? And then boom. And then we're counting the people. We're elbowing each other. Oh shit, it's on Lou or whatever the fuck the guy's name is.
Yeah.
And bro, he would hit that shit hard. And you know how they would have the slang N-word in it?
Yeah.
Because it was like a southern slang. So it was almost like he was making
Mark Twain.
fun.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Nothing
Wow.
funnier in your whole life than that.
That's right.
Nothing funny, an Asian kid who barely speaks English, just dropping hard N-bombs in a class of 30
man.
people. Even the black kids were dying laughing. They're like, this isn't racist. The guy doesn't even know.
Yeah.
You know
They're
what's
dying.
But the era we grew up in, man,
Teacher's racist.
it wasn't just the N-word, though.
Yeah.
It was the slurs towards women. It was
What is that?
all of the B word, the H
What's
word.
the B word?
I'm not saying it.
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Exactly.
These broccolis.
You know what I mean? It was all every slur that was used for anybody.
We're not going to equate the
thrown
B
around.
word with the N word, bro.
I mean,
I still like the B word.
Listen, I'm with you, but I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
Say what?
I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
A woman takes the B word the same way we take the N word.
No, stop it.
It is. Because girls can say it.
I don't call.
We can't say it.
I don't call my girls bitches like that.
I don't believe that.
No, look, if I do.
Let me see
no,
your
look,
phone.
if I
Yes,
do,
Let me see your phone.
Yes.
She definitely
Do
called
you have
bitch.
do you have a fiance?
Definitely
I
called
Do you have a
always
bitch.
fiance named
I
Lexi?
always say girl. I always say girl before I say bitch.
Before you said
Like,
Chrissy, you believe that?
happened.
have I ever called you a bitch? Thank you. Don't drive me.
What?
I don't believe that.
Why do you
It's
never believe
hard.
anything
I just don't
say?
believe it. I don't believe
No,
it.
but for real
That's
though.
hard
But
to
if
believe.
I don't
a
believe
guy
that.
calls me a bitch, he's
Yeah.
already getting slapped. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
But what if he's
I-
describing
you
your
know how many
behavior?
guys-
What if he's describing your behavior?
a
He said he
female
acting
dog?
like that.
What if
No,
you
acting
I'm
like
not a
that?
female fucking dog.
Well, who
Don't
knows?
call
What
me
if you're at a
that.
music festival? There's no place to take a piss.
You
You just
barking?
pee outside
Yo,
somewhere.
shut the
Yo,
up.
you came in. Yo, you're pissing like a bitch. You can't say that. Yo, you can't
Leg
say
up
that.
this side.
That's in context.
That's context, right?
But
Yeah.
you're not going to take it like that. And same thing with the gay slur.
Yeah.
Gay slur, you can't. That hits a gay person in a different way.
Yeah.
My point is, everybody used to throw their language around.
Oh, dude.
In the era we grew up in, everybody threw it around.
It was out there.
Our guy Neil Brennan said, I was talking to Neil this week. Neil was like, "Yo, man, what happens when your F tape drops?" Because he was like, if you came up in a certain era, everybody got an F tape.
Yeah.
I can go to so many rappers that just pull up when they was throwing the F word around.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all out
As
of
the gay
control.
slur, just throwing it around.
Yeah.
And by the way, we didn't say it in reference to gay people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No,
Anybody.
I'm lying.
What do you
We did say it.
mean?
in
I
reference
say,
to-
yes, you did.
But
But
we
you
say it
never-
in reference to each other
Yeah,
too.
but you never called a gay
Same
person
way if I
that.
be like, yo, you acting like a B word.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you acting like a, you know what I mean?
Like what?
a female dog.
Shut up, man.
I call
I don't know what. What's
I
going
call a
on?
guy bitch.
Mutually
female-
assured destruction, yo.
Female
Mutually
dog
assured-
always
That's-
barking.
That's what it is.
Yo, literally, everybody just got to come out and say it all at the same time.
Just drop it all on
What?
the table.
Everybody
Everybody put
go.
your shit out,
That's
yo.
it.
So let's get it over.
Once everybody got nuclear weapons, we stopped going to war.
You right?
Right?
I-
Everybody got to drop it.
But everybody
On
got
three.
it though.
One, two, three.
No, you gonna explode.
Nah, here's the thing.
What I text you,
No.
though, what I text you, remember when you were showing me all the videos of all the people who have said the N-word?
Yes.
What I text you?
I don't remember.
I said, I'm a hero.
Oh, this guy's so stupid.
I'm
What?
a hero.
He
All I've
was
been
like, that's what
talking.
he said, all these white people dropping the N-word. He said, and then he goes, I'm a hero.
I never dropped it, not once.
You feel bad?
But it's because you grew up in New York.
What's that?
You know
You grew up in
better.
New York and you younger.
Yeah, and y'all are scary.
That sound more racist than the N-word.
No, that sounds like the truth though.
That sound more racist.
Listen, I bet you if
That right
somebody,
there sound more racist.
yo, I bet you if a white person
I
felt
can be
they get
racist
away with
without
it.
it.
they'll do it.
There's levels to this racism,
Nah, you real
guys.
shit.
I
think-
can't
Crazy,
stop me
man.
now.
White
You gotta
people-
appreciate the people who actually say it because them the ones who's showing that they racist. All the people that's not saying
No,
it,
that's the but
they
time,
really
time.
say they really racist.
Angela, you asked me a question this week on the Breakfast Club.
What did she
said-
ask you? What did she say?
She said, "Can you use a slur and not be whatever the slur you use?" Like, so if I say the N-word, does that make me racist? If I use a slur towards women, does that make me misogynistic? No.
No.
And if that's the case, there's so many people that we got to check off. That means that every single person that's ever used a gay slur is homophobic. Even if you like in your raps, whatever, your comedy, whatever. Any person that's ever used this a negative term towards women is homophobic, misogynistic. Anyone who's ever said
Or you don't love her.
the N-word is racist. Like, and by the way, man, if you want to go down the list of white people,
Yo, let's go down the list.
yeah, where do you want to start? You want to start with Joe Biden?
Wait,
1980
Joe Biden said the N-word. The president?
1985 Senate
What
hearing.
thing
He
you
was
sent me?
I'm sure.
1980. I sent it to you. 1985 Senate hearing. He's quoting somebody.
What'd he say?
Why they keep trying to get
Oh,
away
I'll
with
let
that
you
Send
hear
it
shit?
to me.
I'll let you hear.
You just because you quote somebody, you get to get away with it?
He's quoting somebody. I'll send it to Taylor. Taylor can
Doesn't
insert it.
even look like Biden, by the way.
It's 1985.
Why? Because he was a stud. And he
I
was
wasn't
just
even
crushing
born.
box.
Why do y'all act like
I
people don't
was born.
age?
Yeah,
That's the weirdest thing
No,
to me.
Yeah.
it does not look like. I don't see.
Y'all
him
do
at
that
all.
about everyone. I saw somebody say
That's
that.
racist. That's racist because white people age worse.
Taylor, you know
can
how
just
long
say,
ago
"Oh, it doesn't look
1985
like
was?
that."
Who said it?
That's
I didn't say
racist.
that.
Will
Okay,
you
well,
even-
share the fucking cocoa butter.
Will you even
Okay, stop keeping all your products to
It's shea
yourself.
butter. Were you-
Whatever.
Were you born in 85?
No,
Exactly.
even born.
Jesus Christ.
you didn't send it.
So Joe Biden says it in 85. You know. Eminem says it in a freestyle. Justin Bieber said it.
But that was wild.
Howard
though,
Stern has
man.
said. Vince McMahon looked at John Cena and said, "What's up?" What? Then turned
Bro.
to Booker T and his wife
Bro,
and said, "What?"
but
And walked
no.
off.
The funniest thing is, do you remember when Booker T said it and then caught himself and felt bad?
Booker T said it?
Yeah, there's a Booker T.
Is it say black?
Yes, he
don't count.
is black.
Yeah.
But he said he was something and dropped it, and he was like,
He probably didn't want to say it in front of all those white people. I get it.
But isn't it funny that Vince McMahon was like, let's
That's
write
what
a
I'm saying. He
script
was
for
part
me.
of. He was part of this sketch.
How he got less hair?
That's him in the back.
Bro, it's
right?
85. 85. Joe Biden was 57.
Oh, dude.
That's him in the back.
No, that's him right there, man.
Is this it right here?
I would
Nah, I don't
never
think
knew
that's
that
it.
was him. You're right. He
If you,
looks
go,
short.
if you Google Joe Biden N-word, it'll come up. But who else?
I did.
Well, listen, Larry David, you're not gonna sit here and tell me you didn't laugh at the Curb Your Enthusiasm stuff.
He said it?
What do you mean?
What
Larry
is that?
David has one of the best sketches when he walks in and he's trying to explain to his white friends what somebody said to him, and he says it, and when he says it, Vivica Fox walks out the room, and she
I've
goes,
seen
"What
that.
the fuck did
I've
you
seen
just
that.
say?" Yada yada, and him and Vivica and JB Smoove and all them get on. Yeah, that's it right there.
You should put white people in word
How do I make
instead of just Biden.
No, that's it right there.
No, I'm trying to make the TV.
Listen, I'm not, and by the way, I'm not making no excuses for. Hold on.
As
Dude,
the
I've been
governor, the
missing
court
out.
concludes,
You never
quote,
heard
the
this?
governor's opposition to the Nunes plan was predicated in significant part on his delineation of a majority black district centered in
He's quoting
Orleans
somebody.
Parish. In a confidential portions of your staff memo, they brought to your attention the allegation that important legislators
We got more here
in
now.
defeating the Nunes plan in the basement said, quote, we already have a nigger mayor and we don't need any more nigger big shots.
In the
And
camera
the
when
court
he said
cited evidence of discriminatory intent on the part of
Because he's
other
being
legislators,
critical
including the
of this
representative
person who
He's
said
quoting.
that. Yeah, yeah,
hearing
yeah.
that the
Quoting.
legislators, quote,
But
Yeah.
but by the way, I remember during the campaign,
Yep.
people cut that and threw it out into the ecosystem. You know what I mean? To take it out of context. So I'm not making any excuses for, white people using the N-word. All I'm simply saying is, what are the rules? You know what I mean? There was a time in the
Stay out the way of
90s,
it.
there was a time in even the early 2000s where everybody was getting away with saying and doing a lot of wild shit.
Yes.
In the sake of comedy, in the sake of music, for the sake
But
of
you know better,
entertainment,
do
for the sake
better.
of art.
If you know better, do better.
Shit
You know what I'm saying?
changed.
Yeah, I hear change.
And by the way,
bro.
that I would assume that was extremely risky for a white comedian. I would assume only like the ones that were really willing to take it there would do stuff
Willing
like
to get
that.
punched in the mouth.
Same way now, people look at us Dave Chappelle and be like, man, for him to be talking about the LGBTQ community in that way, that's like really edgy in this era.
Right.
I think it would be the same for
But if somebody
Howard Stern
catch him
back then.
outside, it's up to him. I'm saying just like a white person. If you want to say it, you want to get punched in the mouth, it's all up to
Even
you.
in context?
Whatever you want to do, it all depends on who's
Has
there.
a white guy done that to you before?
Yeah.
Recently.
A couple of times.
Recently.
Last
Yeah.
year.
And
Ooh.
I talked to him.
I told him right now, I said, yo, don't say it. I said, yo, don't say it.
Yeah.
Who is it?
I'm not going to say who it was, but
Yeah,
it's one of our partners, and he was talking, but he was quoting.
That's what I'm saying.
He was
Try
quoting
to
something
do that.
he was actually quoting what cops said in the
Yeah.
90s.
Somebody else too, another one of the other guys.
He was quoting what cops said in the 90s in regards to stop and frisk, or was it plain clothes?
Yeah.
It was one of them, and he was quoting why if Eric Adams brings it back, it won't work.
This is what's going to happen because
And
that's how they was looking
That's
at it.
right. And he was quoting, yo, I always tell y'all this story about when we was in West Virginia. Our guy Shane, God bless the dead.
Yeah.
I had that motherfucking ski mask on. And Shane turned around.
You appreciate that
And
one.
he
huh?
was red as fuck, and he yelled. He said, Charlemagne, don't go in that goddamn store with that mask on.
Oh.
You an N-word in West Virginia, they'll kill you dead. If he would have said it any other
Other way, you probably went,
I'm
brush
like,
it
"Ah,
off.
whatever."
Yeah.
But I heard the urgency in his
Sure.
voice.
That ER is struck.
And when you say the N-word in this era, you don't know if somebody really just said the N-word. You're not
Yeah.
even sure. But when you hear
Yeah.
somebody say, you're like, whoa.
I
know what I
see
mean?
where you're going at with this. Yeah.
And also, I remember another thing, and Duval will tell you this. I remember being in West Virginia, in Simpsonville, with Shane and all his friends. His friends are considered rednecks. And me and Duval using the word. One of the rednecks said, man, I got a friend, man. His name's Jermaine, man. You know, he's African-American. He wouldn't like that, man. I think y'all need to stop using that word. Y'all making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's cool.
You would have thought he would have been one of the main ones.
Mm-hmm.
like dropping the word. But he's telling me, Duval, I'm like, all right, respect. I don't like the word. I'm gonna be honest with you. I personally don't like the word. And the reason I don't like the word is because I use it in context. I don't use it as a term of endearment.
Yeah.
I don't, when I used to say, I don't talk to N-words after 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And I mean ignorant people of all races.
Yeah.
I don't use it as a bad word.
I don't like the word. It's not a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? And
I never use it bad.
what do you
If
mean?
I'm going to use something bad, I'm going to come get you, I'm going to fuck you up, or I'm going to say something else. Me saying that to a guy, that's really a dude at the end of the day when it comes to us,
Yeah.
is really nothing. You know what I'm saying?
How do you, but you gotta, I don't know. I just think.
When am I going? Am I bad at you? I'm going to say that. The fuck I'm saying that for?
I just feel like
You're a
it's
nerd? You're not
it's-
saying that.
It's so easy.
You're not gonna
to
get
not
mad.
say.
You're not gonna make me mad off that.
As a white dude, it is very easy not to say it. I've never said it. I hang out with you guys all the time. You guys sometimes say it. I do not say it. It is very easy to not say it.
Yeah.
So I understand that people say it to be provocative, etc. It's, I don't know, maybe since I've had more black friends, I've like seen people say it or they've told me about people saying it to them in like a hurtful way. Maybe it changes things.
You ever see somebody get punched in the mouth by saying it?
No.
No?
Not on video, maybe.
What about
But
the word
no.
cracker?
What's that?
Are you offended? Cracker.
Don't nobody care. That shit
The
don't
way
slap.
you offend white
ain't got that
people,
shit.
I'll be honest with you, like, because I know that people want to know how to do this. It's the way you offend white people is you inconvenience us. We look at inconvenience
You
as an
lying.
attack. This is what
You lying.
Karenism is all about.
That's all it is.
I mean this here.
No
Like,
real shit.
so like non-white people and also like poor white people don't count in this.
Mhm.
Poor white people are inconvenienced all the time. So like they're okay with it. Like
Yeah,
trailer
yeah.
park people don't like fucking go Karen ever. Right? Because they understand like, fuck. But middle class to rich white people,
Yeah.
an inconvenience to them is an attack. If you're a minority, you get inconvenienced all the time. Somebody follows you around a store, you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
pills
yeah,
you over
yeah,
for no
yeah.
reason, you're
Yeah.
like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So you don't
Yeah.
caring about things like that because you're used to
to it.
inconvenience. Rich,
sucks.
especially rich white people. I live in a building with fucking all these like super rich white people, right? And if one thing goes wrong in the building, they fucking lose their mind.
I believe it.
There's a whole text thread that we're all on, which just them
Yes.
complaining. They just complain, and I watch these people complain. Oh, the elevator button was
But do you
wasn't
understand what's
working.
really going on?
What's that?
Did you know what they used to break papers in college?
What do you mean?
You know, Adderalls. When you get
Oh,
the
yeah.
long-
Yeah. No, I could see that, and that making them like a little bit more like ornery or whatever.
Mhm.
But
I think there's one word that pisses white people off.
what's that?
Racist.
Yeah.
If you call them
You're
If
racist,
you actually call a white
Yeah.
person a racist or accuse a white person of racism, even if what they did is an extreme act of racism, they will
still-
lose their mind.
Yeah.
I fucked a black guy before.
What?
They say.
Wow. What?
They say that.
That's
All
right.
right,
That,
wow.
By the way, y'all gonna need something else other than my best friends are black. That might be a good one.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I fuck
Yeah.
my black,
And
I
both
fuck black
sexes
guys.
should use it.
Yeah.
if you get caught out there doing something racist, using that word, like, I fucked a black guy before. You know what I mean? That'll change the conversation.
Or I
Trust
know
me.
wax.
Okay?
Yeah, I can't be
But-
racist. I know wax.
It's like, because even
We
when
love
like,
doing it. That is a great point. about
Racism.
white people.
Yeah.
No.
That's true.
But racism, yeah, that is one thing.
because on the radio, mayonnaise pisses people off.
Yeah.
It used to be the funniest shit in the world. People would call the front desk
Mhm.
and leave all of these complaints about me calling them mayonnaise. Like, and I used to describe it. I'd be like, yo, mayonnaise, yeah, you just don't need a lot of it. Too much of it ruins anything. You need just enough
Yeah.
to have the best tuna fish, the best potato salad.
Yeah.
But it was like, why does he keep referring to us as mayonnaise? Like, they would be the funniest
Did you
shit,
see
right?
it now? You see how it look now?
Huh?
You see how it look now? Oh my gosh.
I
What?
don't pay no attention. What?
You see the things at the office?
Oh yeah, because it's spoiled. Because I used to always have to have a jar of mayonnaise in there, and I would slam it on the desk. Listen, I totally understand why people don't like me. All right, I never thought about it.
I get it,
You
I
never
get it.
think about it. It's like I really used to fuck with people and agitate people. Still do,
Yeah.
but really in a real way.
You
Now,
intentionally
on TV,
Yeah.
cracker does piss people off. My IMDb rating is like 1 something, and literally every comment,
It's because of the crack of the
every single
I don't
one.
think with you it's the word. I think it's the generalization, and I think white people don't like unfair when it affects them.
Mm.
I think white people, we ignore unfair if it puts us at some sort of advantage or puts
Mhm.
someone else at a disadvantage. And I think most people do that in general,
Mhm, mhm.
right? But when, for example, you're like decrackification and crack this, whatever, they're going, wait a minute, why is this guy allowed to generalize on all white people? If I was to generalize on black people, I would be called racist.
But I don't.
And
I'm
here's
very
a TV
specific.
show. I know you are.
Good white people.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like what they're viewing is, oh yeah, but if I was to speak about black people, that is unfair. I'm going to point that out.
True. That's
Yeah.
what you
That's
just
all they
said.
doing.
Oh, what Andrew just said is another good point. That's what we don't talk about enough either.
What's that?
Sometimes people are just mad about the power that somebody else has.
Yeah.
They
Literally.
want to challenge it.
Literally, 'cause I keep hearing the thing about people like, why does Whoopi get suspended, but Joe doesn't? It's because Joe's a white man and Whoopi's a black woman. Nah, it's because of the companies they work for.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I think. Because this ABC is a really no-nonsense company. This is the same company that fired Roseanne Barr, 2 years ago, right? For the comments she made about, I think it was Michelle Obama or Valerie Jarrett or something like that.
Right.
Spotify is a different type of medium. They're a different type of entity. If Spotify gets in the censorship business, how much music do they got to remove?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Forget the voices. How much music would they have to remove?
Yeah.
I think it was Spotify who tried to do that with. Did they try to make a stand against XXXTentacion or somebody, and it kind of like backfired against them? It's just like, yo, these companies like that cannot get into the censorship business. But it's not like it's not still costing them because they said they're going to give up $100 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, the Views show is about censorship, right? It's like every day these 4 women are just yapping about how people should get canceled because they said something wrong. And then one of them said something wrong, and it's like, yo, that's your bed, lie in it.
Yeah.
You can't go on there every single day, talk about how these people need to get out of here. You can't act like this. And then you say some wild shit. And low key, she said some wild shit, right? It's like, what she say? Like the Holocaust wasn't about Jews. It was about
no, the Holocaust
people.
wasn't about race.
It wasn't about race. It was about people. But that, like,
that's just historically inaccurate.
But I've been trying to explain to people that's like people saying like 9/11 wasn't an attack on New York. It was an attack on America. It's like, was it? Kind of seemed like an attack on New York.
What
fam.
you just said is what you just said is perfect.
Yeah.
Because what she said is wrong, right?
Mhm.
The Holocaust was absolutely about race, but then she goes into the whole, if we were just better people, if people had more humanity, things like this wouldn't happen. Sure.
Hold on, she got suspended for that?
Wait. Can I say
Hush. Yeah.
Don't even start. Don't even.
But I
really
will say,
love
with black people, though, a lot of black people, including me,
Yeah.
when I think of race, I literally think of just black and white. I'm not thinking
That's
of going into
ridiculous.
it. But why? That's what we're taught in the race.
No, we're
Spanish,
not.
what are you, Christy?
I'm not-
Exactly.
but
You
I'm
hate.
not-
As a black woman, how can you not see somebody? As much as y'all complain about not being seen,
I look at Spanish people as much as we are.
that's not true though.
So look,
But
Spanish.
I know she is, but I'm
But
saying
wait.
she's also
That's a racial.
among the
So
minority.
Taylor-
No, she's among the minority though, right?
this is
She's still Spanish.
So Taylor,
I-
this is
you're not
important.
getting my
This is
point.
important.
She's saying.
Let me explain real quick. I know this sounds ridiculous.
Taylor
It
doesn't
sounds
do
all
good
like
with-
fucking
Taylor
white
doesn't
and
do
shit.
good with races though. Keep that in mind.
I know. But here's the thing. I know it sounds ridiculous and fucking woke and whatever, but just trust me.
But
on
I'm
this.
saying it's ignorant of me.
No, I know.
True.
But let me just say one thing.
I'm just saying.
Taylor. Race, we know now, is made up. There's no genetic characteristics that define race. We've made up race.
It's a social construct.
It is. Now, I can't believe us and the brilliant idiots.
Use the
this
woke
is
language.
A social
It's a
construct.
social
It
construct.
literally, a guy in Sweden has just as much in common with a guy in Ethiopia genetically, right? Actually,
Yeah.
maybe more in common than that Ethiopian has with a guy from Cameroon, right?
Yeah.
They've done these studies. It's crazy. So there's no actual like genetic distinction. But once you start the slippery slope of like, we've created races, it's not really up to us to stop it. For example, a Spanish person can look whiter than me, blonde hair, blue eyes. And I'm sure you have maybe, I don't know, a part of Puerto Rican or something like that, Dominican. So I'm sure you've met a Dominican that's got fucking blue eyes,
What are
blonde
you
hair.
about to say?
Right? Careful now.
Careful.
Everybody calm down. Calm down, Wax. Calm down, Wax. Calm down.
I'm getting married.
What?
I'm getting married.
Okay, good. One last hurrah. But like, you've seen all different quote unquote races of Dominicans. Like we've all seen, you've seen Dominicans that are black,
Yeah.
and then you've seen Dominicans that look white. But
Right.
we go Spanish as a race right now. Also, like, go.
Come on the mic, Christy. Come on. There you go. Hola.
Come on,
Stop.
Stas.
Go.
I don't see Spanish as a race only because I feel like when you have to choose a race, Hispanic is not an option. It's
But
a
you're
whole-
Dominican. Dominican's a race, right?
Yes, but it's a whole nother question, and I actually get offended. I got offended the other day. I just had a daughter 5 months ago, and I have to fill out her passport application.
Yes.
And for race, I couldn't put that she was Hispanic.
Does it say
So
black?
I-
Why though?
You cannot. It's not an option. It's
Well-
African American. There's Caucasian.
Yeah, it
there's
says
whole.
non-Hispanic.
Yeah, and then there's other. So I always
yeah.
put other, but it bothers me because I'm like I couldn't even put that my daughter's
I thought
Hispanic.
Hispanic was on there.
No.
No,
Why
it's
do
not.
they do that?
They
Yeah.
used to
Not
do
a race.
Hispanic and then
Non-Hispanic.
Yeah, then it used to be Hispanic white and then like
Yeah.
non-white.
So what is
Hispanic.
Spanish?
So you put other?
I put other,
Is Spanish on there?
And then you got to fill it in.
and I actually I don't even put Hispanic. I put Dominican.
But so here's a perfect example. Like we look at Asian as a race, right? But now you also have like Indians. Indians aren't black. They aren't white, right? They aren't Asian. They're kind of their own people. So you go, okay, here's your own people.
What is it? What is,
Mexicans are different than Dominicans, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, they're kind of their own race. Native Americans were like, oh, I guess they're their own race.
what is Akash?
Akash is Indian.
Okay.
So Desi, they would call themselves like Desi
yeah,
people, Pakistani, Indians. And then Arabs, right? You look at people in the Middle East, you're like, oh, they're their own thing as well.
Wow.
Once we start inventing all these groups and all these like archetypes of people, I don't think that we can close the door if Jews want to identify as their race. But Jews, just like Spanish people, have a bunch of different quote unquote races within their race. My buddy Dove, you guys have all met Dove, is from Africa. He's Moroccan, right?
Oh, yeah, I know
But if you look at Jews that maybe Whoopi Goldberg is talking about, or the Jews that were in Germany at the time, you're like, yo, they look whiter than Schultz.
You're right, but the problem with what Whoopi Goldberg said is there is historical context to it. You cannot say the Holocaust was not about race, regardless of how you viewed him, when the reality is Adolf Hitler literally was killing them because he thought they were an inferior race. Those are his words.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not your place to say if she said anything bad because you're not Jewish.
I know, but I'm not. I don't think she was trying to erase the Jewish like.
She did though. Even though she may not have been, she did.
That's what I'm saying. She wasn't
Before
trying
we
to.
have
That's
this
what I'm saying. That
conversation,
wasn't.
tell me what year World War II started. If you don't know, we're not having the conversation.
I'm not having a conversation.
Exactly. So it's like everybody got a fucking point of view, and they don't know shit.
I wasn't even.
Just like
I wasn't
done.
even
Right?
Done.
Right?
I can't tell you shit. I just found out when I was born.
That's real though.
That
I
shit.
just hope we get back to a moment, and this is why I hope. And I told Andrew this week. I said I really feel like this situation might cancel culture, Joe Rogan situation,
Bro. Yeah.
And the reason I said that is because I think for everybody got to step back and realize we all got some shit with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that we all have to get to a point where we understand context matters, intention matters, timing matters. Timing might be the most important one. Like, yo, we got 3 people performing at the Super Bowl this weekend.
That have all dropped hard F-bombs. Hard.
Listen, do you understand? Do you understand why this is the first time this is happening?
Talk to me.
Because 25, 30 years ago, it would be unheard of.
Ain't had nothing for social media though.
It would be unheard of. So the fact that this weekend, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem are getting a chance to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, I'm waiting on the backlash.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick is good. Trust me, Kendrick is a choir boy.
But who is these people? Who's the people that's mad?
We never know who these
That's what
people
I'm saying.
are.
Fuck they.
Hey, you say fuck they until they put that compilation video together.
Don't be talking about Demi Lovato
I don't
like
give
that,
a
bro.
and also the moral of the story is there's definitely a price to everything that comes out of your mouth. I keep trying to tell y'all this.
And we ideally will continue to lower the price.
Nah.
Well, once it's mutually assured destruction, right? Like, and again, I don't know. I operate in a different field, right? I'm a comedian. So everything that I say, including and usually the most offensive things, the intent is laughter. Like, I'm like, how can I, walk this fine line and say this thing that's kind of fucked up?
Joe Rogan's a comedian.
Exactly. And that's why I judge Joe as a comedian, right?
I judge him as a comedian and broadcaster.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting combination.
Too many
and that's tough.
though.
And you fall in that line as well. And I know you don't identify as a comedian, but us comedians often identify you as
comic.
There we go. No. For real. No, for real. Like, because I think that's one of the things that always got you in trouble initially is that I think you had a lot of respect for stand-up. So you're like, I'm not a comedian. I don't tell jokes. I tell the truth, right?
Oh, Lord.
But you, right?
Great branding at the time. Great branding at the time.
But as a comedian, I'm watching, I'm like, these are jokes. I know what a joke is because I do jokes for a living, right?
Yeah.
And I always wonder, I'm like, man, I wonder if he was like, yo, I tell jokes. This is what I do. I joke around. If these things would be taken way less literally.
You're absolutely right.
No.
Because that's what I would always think.
Nobody like to get cracked on still.
We could have, but like at least in my community of comedians, that's how we view you.
It was the people I was cracking on, though.
Yeah, that's what I was
cracking on people who don't want to play.
Who ain't playing.
We love that.
Who ain't playing. That's the most fun. That's the most funny.
Love that. Like that's the thing. Like, and that's the thing about comedy. Like, you could be like the whitest, like nerdiest comedian, but they knew who you were. And that's how I knew you were transcending, like, not just like hip hop culture or even mainstream culture. Like, that's how I knew like you were getting into like comedy culture because we're just finding what's funny. If you like funny things, if you're a comedian, you just value funny, whether it's some lady falling down, you know what I mean? Or it's somebody like being hilarious on a radio show. So we were watching this for comedy purposes. And when we saw people taking it seriously, it was like, oh, yeah.
Man, you know who treats me like that now? You know who treats me like that hip hop community used to treat me? Politicians. they the ones that's hitting my line mad.
Really?
Yes, they're the ones that's upset.
Because you stay exposing them, bro.
Yeah,
That's all
I'm
it
telling,
is.
it's so
That's all it
interesting. Like even this morning, I'm getting texts about such and such would like to talk to you about the misinformation about Joe Biden and the crack pipes. I'm like, I haven't said anything about it. So it's almost like it's a preemptive strike, right? You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's
yeah.
almost
It's
like
like you
I'm
covering
like, I haven't
give some
said,
good
and
news.
I'm like, I haven't said anything.
We got to talk about them crack pipes.
Listen,
Unbelievable.
Here's the thing, and this,
They're giving out condoms though.
you know what? Let's pay the bill. Let's pay some bills. Let's
Why?
pay the
What's
bills and we
up?
come back and talk about it.
Why? What's up? Okay, fine.
Yeah, let's pay the bills and come back and talk
This
about
episode is brought to you by Crystalline Crack Pipes.
it. Actually, it's brought to you by BET's Real Husbands of Hollywood. Okay, salute to my man Kevin Hart. Streaming February 10th only on BET. Real Husbands of Hollywood is back, and it's out of this world crazy. Okay, this uncensored fun could only live on BET Plus. Kevin wants more shine. Nelly wants a wife. You know, you're going to be very intrigued to see who he proposes to. The crew is reunited, and the drama has to be seen to be believed. You got Nick Cannon, JB Smoove, Dwayne Martin, Robin Thicke, Jackie Long, Boris Kojo, Nelly, and of course, more Kevin Hart. Plus, more cameos from big stars this season. Tiffany Haddish, my good sister Tiffany Haddish is on.
Yep.
Yolanda Adams is on. Mark Cuban is on. My sister Angela Rye is on.
Yep.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, and a lot more, okay? Real Husbands of Hollywood, more Kevin, more problems. New season streaming February 10th exclusively on BET Plus. Still need to sign up so you can binge the new season of Real Husbands of Hollywood, more Kevin, more problems. Visit BET.plus to learn more and scream Black culture. And can we talk about Talkspace? Oh my God. In the era that we live in right now, man, having somebody to trust and love on you and have somebody to talk to is more important than ever. But even the best relationships can hit a few bumps in the road. We've all been there. You feel unheard by your family, by your friends. You feel like you keep having the same arguments over and over. You just got to know how to move forward, all right? And Talkspace gives you unlimited access to a licensed therapist. That's who you should be talking to, a licensed therapist, so you can clear up the confusion and focus on what matters most, being the best person and partner you can be. I literally posted this on social media earlier today, man. I posted that I think the best thing I ever did in my adult life was start digging deep and asking myself why I am the way I am and why I do the things the way I do. It takes a ton of work and intentionality, but getting to know yourself on a deeper level will help you thrive. And that's exactly what Talkspace is doing, is helping you thrive, okay? So whether you've been married for years, you're re-entering the dating scene, or you're just trying to get comfortable with being single, talking to a therapist can help, all right? It's 2022. Just kiss and make up isn't going to cut it anymore, all right? Sit down, you and your significant other, talk to a licensed therapist, okay? All right? Join Talkspace today and start the journey to happier, healthier relationships. Just visit Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month when you use promo code IDIOTS at sign up. That's $100 off at Talkspace.com, promo code IDIOTS. Let's get back to this show. Shotzi, you got some church announcements?
The announcements are a very important part of what we do in church.
Yo, Canada, man, fucking Canada, dude. They keep on, locking things down. And
No.
I know, so we're gonna have to push back some of those dates. The Vancouver dates, we switched. All the information will be up on my site soon, theandrewschultz.com. So we might have to switch the Toronto dates. We're looking in to see about that. Maybe those truckers can make some real change quickly, and we can still do the Toronto dates, and looking about the Winnipeg shows as well. But besides that, theandrewschultz.com, come check it out. We're down in Birmingham, New Orleans, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, obviously New York. We just added another Radio City show, so come check that out. And then Atlantic City as well. I think that show is actually sold out. So theandrewschultz.com. Those are the last times you'll be able to see the Infamous tour before we release this special. So yeah, holler.
Wax, you got any church announcements?
Yes, sir, man. Go to who'swax.com.
Show 'em, man.
And we got the gummies. You know what I'm saying? I got my
You got the
other
shout out on
bags.
Rogan, you know that?
Yeah. That's fire.
Oh, on Akash episode?
Akash shouted you
Gotta go
out.
listen.
Yeah.
He
my
said
guy.
your shit fucked him up.
Yeah, that's good. And that's
Akash
what
was that or
happened.
Rogan?
No, Akash said I tried a Delta 8. That shit put me on my ass.
Yeah, I thought you said Rogan.
Yeah.
Say what?
Listen, it's still on the show.
We
That's
appreciate
even
it,
good.
Akash, but
my
yeah,
guy, I
yeah.
appreciate you.
Threw the
bro.
alley-oop.
Big difference.
He
Yeah.
threw
But
the
man,
alley-oop.
These right here is my new bags out there in your nearest dispensary and over in LA, man. So y'all go ahead and get that. Go to who'swax.com. Go grab your 40 milligram gummies out there. And the airsoft Podcast Wars is coming up soon, man. Sign up, get your team, and fight against your favorite podcast. And make sure you go to Bully and the Beast every Wednesday.
And what's up this week?
What's up this
And
week?
We got on Patreon on Monday.
We had a live show this past weekend.
Yes, we talked about that, but you wasn't here, young
talked
lady.
about
Maybe
you
if you
wasn't
showed
here.
up on
This
time.
show like that.
You didn't
If
come
you'd have been
young
here,
lady.
matter of fact, that's how we started the show.
That's
off.
how we
You
started
were
it.
busy getting your hair and makeup and your outfit on, and that's why you
And
left.
that's what happened.
That's right.
Twice.
They said you was getting hair and makeup.
What?
That's
No,
why
it
you was
wasn't.
the whole show late because of her.
What are you
God
Thank
damn.
you. You want
They
to
said
talk
your
about
baby
it?
hair's been like that since fucking Saturday.
You want to talk about it?
Oh,
But
I
yeah, we
wasn't here, so I
appreciate
want the
y'all.
flowers back.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Wow. Taylor
Next.
said she want her flowers back.
I want the flowers.
What you mean?
What you mean?
If you talked about it on live show earlier and I wasn't here, I want to hear it.
Holy shit, I gotta get more cocky. I ain't cocky enough.
Me neither.
These people be demanded. Y'all generation is different.
I'm saying I put in a lot of work on that live show.
You did.
Wow.
T. Diddy is here. She
No,
wanted
that
to
is
talk
true.
about the
You
live
personalized
show.
this
We
show,
really
and that's why it's
appreciate
going to be a
T.
success.
Diddy,
It's already
Twerk God,
happened.
Say again?
It's already
Smith,
happened.
and L'Oreal. Yes, it already happened.
No,
Duh.
but I'm saying the video's going to drop this week for Patreon. That's all.
Yes, videos dropped this week for our live show. Holla at us, man. We really appreciate T. Diddy, Twerk God, the camera guy, Smith, L'Oreal team came together and made something happen.
Gang.
So, yo,
What about
and
you,
Christy?
Charlotte?
And Christy was there.
Salute to Chrissy.
Yeah.
Mine, I just want to salute my guy Kevin Hart. We announced our
Yo,
Audible.
congrats, man.
Thank you, my brother. We announced the Audible deal last year, but this week we announced the slate. So we have 5, different Audible originals coming out this year. And I know everybody keeps asking, like, what is it? It's literally just audio scripted content. So it's like TV shows and documentaries in audio form. That's it. And I'm sure down the line the IP will turn into, what you're used to visually. But I mean, I love the audio world. I'm an audio guy. I do radio, I do podcasts. I like audio. So we have Finding Tamika. It drops on March the 3rd. Okay, and it's a true crime series that deconstructs the troubling phenomenon that is the media's lack of significant coverage of cases of missing or murdered Black women. And it tells the story of Tamika through the voices of her family and other principal figures. Erica Alexander, she produced it, she hosted it, she co-wrote it with Color Farm Media. So salute to Erica. Erica's brilliant, just genius all the way around. And it'll be available March 3rd, but you can go pre-order it now on Audible. It's called Finding Tamika. And then we got 4 other projects dropping this year. We got Short, Black, and Handsome, which is a scripted art style comedy starring me and Kevin and some other prominent short, Black, and handsome comedians.
Really?
Yeah. My man Chris Moreau. Salute to Chris Moreau. I was really... Oh, shit. I was about to say... Hey, Chris, I was literally about to say I was pissed off they didn't put you in the press release, but they did add you.
Yep.
Yeah. In summer of 85. Summer of 85, man, this is a story I didn't even know about until Chris started talking about it. But it took place in Philadelphia in the summer of 85, and it was the Live Aid benefit. It's the true story of the juxtaposition of 2 actual events that took place in Philly that year, the Live Aid Benefit Africa and the bombing of Move. Move, they were a group of Black citizens attempting to create an African-style community. And, it was created and co-produced by our guy, Chris Moreau. So it talks about all those events. A lot of great Philadelphia legends are on that. Unleashed for Love, that's a scripted comedy series starring my good sister, Alicia Renee. Y'all know I love Leash, man. I love Leash so much. Leash has been working on this project for like 7 years. Her and Sarita, so that's something that's coming later this year. And Broke Down Profits, a scripted thriller created and written by best-selling author Sean Crosby. Okay, he wrote Blacktop Wasteland, Razor Blade Tears. Those are all #1 New York Times bestsellers. So yeah, just look out for everything we putting out on SBH Productions this year via Audible, man.
And can I say, for the Black Effect hats, please just send me your name and address. I don't need no one asking me, hey, can I get a black? I'm not going to answer. Just send the address and name. That's it.
Just send the address and name. Hold on, let me make sure I said Sarita's name right, because I'll be mispronouncing people's names. Sarita, yes, Sarita, because you know people want their credit, as you can see with Taylor sitting to my left. People want want
Give
their
it to
flowers.
them.
And they
Want their
deserve it.
flowers.
All creators
All
deserve
day.
their motherfucking flowers. Okay? We are nothing without the creators. Now, let's talk about, what was we going to talk about? What did we say we wanted to talk about? The crack pipes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What do y'all think that was? What do you think that was?
I looked it up. And basically they're saying that using these like old crack pipes can cause a lot of like cuts and
Yes.
infection.
It's part of the harm reduction program.
Right.
Yes.
So
Everybody got to play their part.
they're also, I imagine, doing other things outside of crack pipes, right? I imagine maybe a new needle. Oh, no, that's the other thing. They're hoping that by using crack pipes, they don't use needles, and needles
It's worse.
is what spreads disease even quicker.
Yes.
The purpose of the program is to support
Blood.
community-based overdose prevention programs, syringe service programs, and other harm reduction services. That's what the grant says. And
Yeah.
funding will be used to enhance overdose and other types of prevention activities to help control the spread of infectious diseases and the consequences of such diseases for individuals with or at risk of developing substance use disorders. And it specifically outlines syringes and safe smoking kits supplies as an approved use as an approved use of federal funds.
Right.
Here's my problem with Democrats.
Okay.
Why do they get mad at us? Because their messaging is terrible. Like they're acting like that language is not in there. I think that Snopes.com said it the best when they fact checked it. They said that the story of the Biden administration spending $30 million on crack pipes is mostly false, which is true. It's true. That is true. It's mostly false, right? But it is true that the grant description required the provision of smoking kits, an established component of harm reduction strategy. But in reality, those kits constituted just one of several subcomponents of an even longer list of requirements for grant recipients. In other words, while outraged media
It's
coverage
just not crack
focused
pipes.
almost exclusively on crack pipes, this was actually only a very small part of the program. That's it. So why are they mad at us? Because that language is in this grant.
Yeah.
That's not our fault.
Yeah.
That's easily can be taken out of context.
Yeah.
There is nuance to it. It's not a $30 billion program for crack pipes.
But there's a few million for crack pipes.
Yeah.
Right?
But
It's part of it.
do you rather crack pipes though? I'd rather get them crack pipes because them needles is really out of control.
Yeah,
Kids
maybe that's
touching
it.
needles,
I
the
just
blood.
wonder, like, if you would judge, like, if you're a crackhead and you saw someone using, like, a government-issued crack pipe, if you would judge them for that.
Nah. They're like getting weed from the dispensary. I could tell the dispensary bag from somebody back in the street.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. I'm looking at it as like, you know, we all know that in every household, they're telling their kids, do not have sex, do not have sex.
Mm.
Then you go to school and they get them a bunch of condoms. I think this is
Yeah,
exactly
but those condoms are trash. I remember New York was giving out them condoms. You remember the NYC subway condoms? Those condoms.
It's tuxedos.
Too small?
They tuxedo con. But I think that's the exact same thing what they doing with these crack pipes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's the problem with all of this, right?
Yeah.
Number one, if this administration had done what they said they were going to do for black people,
Mm.
like pass voting rights, like let's just say pass voting rights and pass the George Floyd Policing Act.
Yeah.
Those are two tangible things that people can look at and say, oh, you know what? That's going to impact black people. But when you have an
Yeah.
administration that hasn't done what they said they're going to do for black people,
Yeah.
and then this comes out,
Yeah.
and you read that the grant serves historically underserved communities,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
means we know that's
No,
black,
sorry.
right?
Yeah.
And the underserved community part comes from the advanced racial equity funding.
Mm.
So when you read, when you can put two and two together and be like, wait a minute, y'all giving out syringes and smoking kits under something that's part of an advanced racial equity funding, it's so easy for somebody to take all of that messaging and mix it up and put it out there and make it seem like they're giving out crack pipes as part of a racial equity funding. But whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
whoever wrote this shit and put it out
That's what I
there.
think.
Don't even mention crack pipes. Just be like, hey, we're trying to make it safer for addicts. That's all you have to do.
They called it smoking kit supplies.
Don't even say anything about it. We're trying to make things safer for addicts. And then just put that. Dude, my fear is that, like, a lot of this distraction is wrapped up into the Dems knowing that they're going to lose the midterms. And I think part of that is like the Rogan hit piece is baked into that as well. I just think that they haven't done anything. They haven't delivered on any of their promises. So the best that they can do right now is just distract. Give you other things to be upset about so we can't look at them and go, hey, why didn't you pass the George Floyd Act? Why didn't you do what is the other one you were saying? Black voting?
Voting rights.
For the voting thing? Yeah.
You talk about them losing the midterms. Yeah. Y'all aren't even doing anything to protect our voting rights.
The problem that we have, I think, as just like people in general, is we think that politicians will do anything for us. I don't think politicians will do anything but for us besides take more of our money. That's the only thing that I think that they're good for, is just how can they find more ways where we can give them money that they can then waste. We have to take care of ourselves. And by that, I mean literally organize. If we're poor, we have to organize so many people that we combined are rich. And that's essentially what unions are, right? Like a union has a lot of power because it's a bunch of poor people together going, yo, you think you have all the power as a billionaire? Well, all of us together, we're worth $1 billion. Now we can play ball. Or we got to get rich people to side with our problems, and then the rich people put pressure on the powers that be, et cetera, do it. But politicians will do nothing for us. We do the thing, and then they accommodate that thing because they want to win us over. Simple as that.
You think we can push them? I think we can push them.
Hell yeah.
I think money pushes them.
It's not even push them. It's like we have to show them that this is what we want, and if they don't give it to us, we'll go to someone else. And that's always going to be the biggest issue for black people, is that like, if you guys vote Republican, if black people voted Republican once, you'd have whatever you want every election because both sides would be fighting for it, right? But the fact that Democrats know all they have to do is go, yo, you're a sellout. I mean, that's literally what Biden literally said to you. Hey, what do you mean? You won't vote for me? What are you, a sellout?
That's right.
He just called you a sellout.
That's
so
right.
It's like black people are so terrified to vote Republican because they feel like the whole community, oh, you're going to support those racist motherfuckers. And low key, that's also on conservatives for allowing themselves to be placed and made look so radioactive. And there's a lot of rhetoric that they let be out there that is radioactive. So it's like, you got to fight that tooth and nail as well because, and again, I'm not black, so I don't know, but from talking to a lot of my black friends, it's like, black people are ready. They're ready for another opportunity. They're ready for another option.
No, let's say that. Say that. They're not ready to vote conservative. They're ready for another option.
They're just ready for another option. So it's like, yo, come show me something, bro.
I think, you know what? You're absolutely right. And I also think I see a lot of progressive white people like that too, though. A lot of progressive white people are like, that's why the Bernie Sanders of the world, you know what I mean?
White people
make noise.
White people are done with these Democrats, bro. Let me just tell you something. White people.
You're speaking on behalf of all white people.
If you're a white person that hasn't like dyed your hair pink, if you have your regular fucking hair color and you're a white person, you're done with these fucking Democrats, bro. You're just done with it, bro.
You want something more progressive.
Ooh, and that's interesting. Make that argument.
I just think you want something more progressive. I think that's why the Bernie Sanders of the world was popular. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not mind-boggling to me. In a perfect world, the last 2 presidential elections, another person could have snuck in and won this shit. But you know, the way the game is structured, it's either going to be a Democrat or Republican. You don't stand a chance.
They just put the bums in there that they can control. Like, there's not even that good. Like, you know, Pete Buttigieg or whatever like that. It's like, he's just someone that can be controlled. Like,
I like Pete.
Yeah, we like Pete. And like, we're like, oh, I guess this is a progressive. This is a good guy, et cetera. We don't know anything about his foreign policy. We know nothing about Pete. And granted, we don't know nothing about most politicians. That's fine. But what I'm saying is they don't give us the best options, right? I mean, like, and then when an option that's interesting to us comes along, they do everything they can to squash him. Please believe Republicans did not want Trump because they knew that they weren't going to be able to control that motherfucker. And they did everything that
was the horse in their lead.
Hey, and now, that's the problem with Bernie. He wasn't as good. Now, also, the Democratic system is built to like control who is becoming president with the caucuses and shit, and they stole it from Bernie. But he also wasn't so good that he could beat the system that's in place. And a lot of us wish that he would, because I'd rather that. Even if he did nothing, shake some fucking shit up, yo.
I'll be honest with you. You know, I think we dropped the ball. Hillary, man.
Hillary what?
Hillary should have been president.
Oh, God.
I think Hillary would have been president.
God. Why?
I mean, better than what we got going on now.
Why?
I think she'd have been a good president.
If Hillary's president, we'd be at war with 10 different countries already right now.
Well, that's coming.
Yeah.
Under whose administration? Keep it a buck. Under whose administration are we going to go to war?
Yeah, but you know what?
These Democrats talk all this shit all the time. Those right-wing people are warmongers, etc.
Hey, man, I think Russia and China smell fear.
Yeah.
And if this was the 90s, I would have let another word fly just now. G-Unit had a dope freestyle about it. All right? Okay? But I'm telling you, Russia and China right now, they smell fear and they are ready to exploit the weakness of
Where do you think they go
America.
first?
We need to get our
New York?
swagger back, man.
I
You
don't
think they
know
go
if
to
we
New
do,
York
bro.
first?
We need
Yo,
to get our
Bishop,
swagger
when you got Bishop TDJ, Bishop, because I remember I posted this last week. I was just like, yo, we not
Yeah.
paying attention, right? And I was talking about the Russia and China alliance, and just even looking at what's going on in the Ukraine. Like, you hear people like, oh, Putin's bluffing. 100,000 troops at the border, bro. Somebody might need to take that a little bit more serious, right?
Yeah.
And so I posted, we not paying attention. I'm watching Bishop T.D. Jakes on Sunday. He gave a sermon called We Need an Epiphany. And Bishop T.D. Jakes literally started off by saying how we're not paying attention and we need an epiphany. And then he went into, we're on the brink of, he said God told him, we're on the brink of World War III. And he starts talking about Russia and China. And he was like, y'all worried about bombs. He's like, ain't gonna be no bombs. He said, this shit is gonna be fought on the internet.
Yeah.
We're already seeing that.
Yeah.
The disinformation. Chris, please jump in right now, because Chris be following all of this shit in a real way. And he put me on to something. Chris, I don't know if you want to talk about it, though.
I mean, you said it. I mean, I think, we're talking about the Russians invading Ukraine. The Russians have already invaded the U.S. They just do it through social media.
That's right.
The wars of the future aren't bombs and tanks. It's social media attacks. And we got to address that.
That shit you talked about when you said
TikTok.
Yeah, but remember you talked about Portnoy and whatever they was on there with a company that did whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, that shit is real. And you can trace this shit back. And a lot of these bots come back from Russia. I've seen it myself.
Yeah,
with
they
my
want
own
us
eyes.
fighting. Like, nobody benefits more about like us destroying each other than China or
That's
Russia
right.
than our
That's
enemies.
right.
That's all it
They
is.
want us fighting each other
That's
so
right.
that we don't fight them. I mean,
Exactly.
that's why I think America needs a real pride movement. Like, and I think what happened is like we had a moment looking in the mirror, and nobody likes what they see in the mirror, right? Because the reflection it forces you to look at all the horrible things that you've done, right?
Yeah.
And I think that what we need to do is kind of restructure American pride. Like, I love America, man. And
Can you have American pride if all of us don't have it?
and here's the thing. I think that American pride, the way that we have American pride, and this is one of my biggest frustrations with the left and the right, is the extreme left and the right have stolen everything I love about America from me, right? They bastardize it. So like
Break
the
it down.
left has stolen tolerance.
Okay.
Like I was so proud, like growing up in New York, and I have all these different friends from all these different walks of life, and we all fucking tease each other, bust balls, but like have respect for each other's cultures and like value it and get to like tap into all these different experiences. It was so dope. Like I didn't even know other countries had like non-white people until like recently.
Me neither.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, that's just us, and this is it.
Mhm.
And I love that. And then the left went so extreme, pandering with their like wokeness that it's like now you make tolerance corny. And then the right goes so extreme with the other things I love about America, which is like freedom of speech and like freedom in general and like pride. And it's like they went so extreme with that shit. It's like anytime I hear some dude say freedom of speech, I'm like, what do you want to say, really? Like
They don't wanna get
you went
locked up.
so fucking crazy with it that I can't even tell you how important it is with me.
Wow.
So y'all have stolen the things I love about America so much.
I wonder if because I was thinking about this when I said what I said about Hillary. The reason I said that is because I feel like Hillary would have kept things in the middle, right? Because she's a centrist. Barack Obama was a centrist, right?
Barack was just he was just a great politician and like just such like an engaging, likable, smart person.
But how do you feel? I want to ask you, how do you feel
Yeah.
America was under Barack?
I can't say from a conservative side, but like I really enjoyed Barack, as a president because I just thought he was like a great ambassador for America. And like, that's what I think America's about. Like the guy was just cool. Like I looked at the president, I was like, I really like that guy is our president. I feel like if he sat down with any world leader, he could outsmart him. And I like that. Like Hillary would just fall apart, just crumble. Like
I'm
she
glad
stinks.
I'm
Like,
glad
Trump bodied her, bro.
he did. I'm glad you said that though,
Yeah.
and the reason I'm glad you said that is because I don't think you can ever truly represent all of the different groups in America if you're part of any one party.
Yeah.
I think in order for to get what you're saying we need, which is American pride, it has to be other options that aren't Democrat
Yeah,
or
that was
Republican, aren't
Obama.
anything. Just like
Yeah.
it got to be like a I don't know, centrist party. It's got to be somebody that's willing to listen to everyone
Obama.
and what everything's saying,
Yeah.
everybody's saying, and be willing to like compromise with everybody in a way.
Well, here's the thing about like what you said was really interesting about like even bringing up Barack, what I thought he did such a great job is like, I think that the most amazing thing about America, and I think Barack's a perfect example of this, but I think the most amazing thing about America is, and I think it's very important when we create this American pride movement, that minorities are included in it and they get to take pride in America too. Because that's one of the saddest things that I always hear. It's like when I talk to my friends that aren't white and they're like, "You're like, do you love America?" Some of them love America. And then some are like, Michael Che has this great joke about it. He's like, black people are specific about our love. They're like, I don't know if I love America. I love Brooklyn.
Yeah, because we still have yet to feel like we get all the civil liberties and civil rights that this country says gives America.
So it's like we've been wrapping up what's great about America in these things that these groups have felt disenfranchised from, right? So of course they're not going to have their pride. If, I feel freedom, it's like, well, I don't feel free.
And America would have to right some wrongs. 100%. Reparations would be a great step towards that.
So what I think we need to do is wrap American pride into the thing that we all feel proud of. And I don't know if you guys feel proud about this, but like I do as a son of like an immigrant, I definitely feel this way. But like America in the world is the place where you can become the greatest version of yourself. And I don't care who you are, what you look like. The greatest version of you, Charlemagne the God, can only be Charlemagne the God in America. I don't know if Charlemagne the God can be Charlemagne the God in London. Now, I'm not taking anything away from you, but I'm giving some credit to fucking America. Like Lil Duval, Andrew Schultz, do you know what I mean? Wax, like everybody in this room can be the greatest for our
Bro, we'd be in jail in other countries.
Say real talk.
Yeah.
Like
what?
I won't be.
Yes, 100%.
We get to criticize our leaders.
Fuck that. You know what I mean? These jokes ain't flying everywhere, bro. So it's like,
you're right.
I look at that in America and I look at like what all my friends, like these creatives and entrepreneurs, my own parents, like my mom came from, a place where she didn't think that her star could shine as bright and then came here and did all these amazing things, right? It's like my dad literally walked into a fucking news station, and this is a different time, but walked into a news station was like asking for a job and then ended up being a fucking reporter and then like produced news. Like these things happen here. Your fucking star shines bright. And like, that's the pride movement I want everybody to take part of. I want all these people who are like, yo, I came from nothing and then I became this amazing businessman, entertainer, fucking musician, athlete, whatever. Like, I want those stories. That is America to me, and that's what America's always been.
But no, you know who fucked that up?
Who?
White supremacists.
Yeah.
Racists and bigots fucked that up because that is the America we should live in.
That's the dream. That's the American dream.
But that's not the America we live in.
Yes, after emancipation.
We're living in it right now. I'm sitting next to it.
But that's what I'm saying. After emancipation, it should have been that. It should have been like, after 9/11, it felt like New York was together. Like literally, like everybody was together in New York. Like we knew, like, man, there's something out here that bigger than us that wants all of us gone, whatever. After emancipation, it should have been that way. Like when you look at, and this is the chicken and watermelon stereotype. When you look at these people who started, black people, after they were enslaved, started growing watermelon and, gaining financial freedom by selling watermelon, like that should have been applauded. But you literally had racist bigots who saw them happy that they were free and happy that they were making money and started bastardizing the watermelon and calling them watermelon pickers and everything else. That should have been applauded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I want people to identify the American dream as a pride source for us, because I hope that you'll see, instead of like, the redneck guy going, they're these Mexicans or whatever are stealing all our jobs, whatever. Like, low-key, I hope that they see an immigrant who has come here. And I don't want people to just come here illegally. I think there should be a legal way to do it, right? I'm not just for like, let anybody come in. Like, we have to have fucking rules and shit too, right? If you value something, you value your country. You're not going to just like any old person walk in whenever you want, just
by the way,
value your house.
Which both parties agree on.
But I want this to be the place for immigrants. I still want this to be like, yo, you want to run it up? You want to be the best version of yourself? Yo, come bring it, because that's what we're about. And then I want Americans, like I want that fucking redneck dude to see that Mexican guy who came here legally, but he came here and start his own business and have this fucking restaurant. I want him to look at that and be like, yo, that's fire, because you could only do that here. And we built something where you could do that and then take personal pride in everybody's ability to reach their highest goals here.
I agree with everything that you're saying. I think that the problem is the fact that, man, everybody can't get money.
And not everybody's gonna.
But that's the problem, right? If you're a white guy, right, who's been here, and this country has always told you white people get ahead, and you watch somebody from another country, or you watch a black person,
it's hard.
Latino person, you be like, man, fuck them.
Yeah.
Like I should be on. Like literally, that's what it is. It all boils down to jealousy. It boils down to envy. It boils down to hate.
That's why Europe is socialist. Is these people have been living there for so long, they're like, yo, I don't want to hustle no more. I just want a job that I know is going to pay me enough to live, and I want some health care, so I'll be safe in case I get sick, and I want to be taken care of when I'm old. I'm tired of this hustle.
Wow, what a life.
But America, we're young still, right? We're like 400 fucking years old, right? So everybody that comes here is on their grind. right? They're basically, America's like moving to New York. Everybody who comes to America is like, I'm going to work 80 hours a week and I'm going to get myself out of fucking poverty and I'm going to go. But then you got generations of people who have been here for a while and they're like, yo, my family did all that work shit.
Yeah,
I just want a job I could trust. I want a pension and I want my fucking health care and I want to chill with my family. And that's okay too. And we might evolve one day into a more socialist system that will basically restrict how high we go on the top, but how low we go on the bottom. You think? I don't think,
but that's why
it's a natural evolution.
But that's why we work hard though, so our younger ones don't really have to.
I mean, that's what I hope we continue to instill. Like, I hope every generation of American grows up going, nah, this is still the Hustlelympics. Like, you got to go out there and you got to grind.
You can't get the kids no more. You can't be giving us so much. We got so much. We got social media. We got Cash App. You know what I'm saying?
That shit is
so much
going
shit.
to mutually assure our destruction.
Nah, not necessarily. Well, social media might, but like what I'm saying is we still invent everything. We still make all the cool shit. Like nothing cool coming out of fucking China. China just takes whatever our shit is, deconstructs it, copies it, and makes it.
That's a lie.
Say what?
China making everything.
Yeah. After we make it. We just say, go make it.
I don't know about that one.
Name one thing. Listen, TikTok, you don't think TikTok is just another version of social media app? We
all this shit China, bro.
Yeah.
We design it. We innovate. Then we say, you put it together. Name one thing that they made.
Everything.
Fam, there's a difference between sewing and designing.
We design. This right here is China.
That was made in Cleveland.
China.
I think all of that, everything you're saying sounds like a dream.
We are in the dream, bro.
And that's what it's called, the American. That's why
I want people to embrace the American dream, man. Yeah. It's like really important to me. And maybe I'm lucky because I saw my mom go through it, right? Like I saw her come here and see this opportunity and then seize it and fucking run with it. And you guys have done this. Like, it's insane what we've all done. Like, if you really sit down here and go, what the fuck is going on?
Truth be told, though, and people always say this argument, and they'd be like, oh, but you're the exception, not the rule. That's true for all of us.
Yo, look.
It's the 1% for a reason.
Look at yourself as the exception. Every morning, you are the fucking exception.
That's right. Black people are the exception. Well, you're all the exception. If you're super rich and wealthy in this country, like, you're the exception. Like, there's way more people doing bad than it is doing good. And it should not be that way in a country with this many resources.
Yeah.
And that is frustrating. Don't get me wrong. And like, you see this immense wealth. You see these billionaires that are going to the moon and then the people living in tents. And you're like, do we need to go to the moon or should we figure out this whole tent situation? And that's 100% right. And low key, maybe if we had a little bit more pride in America, I think like when you think America is shit and you see people living in tents, you go, well, yeah, we're shit. They should live in tents. But when you fucking have pride, when you really believe in your country,
you care.
You go, ain't no fucking American living in a goddamn tent. Okay. Not while I'm alive.
Especially if they fought for us.
Especially, right? You're like, this is wrong.
Yeah,
hey, you know what though? To your point about pride, it's just that kind of goes back to what Whoopi was saying about humanity. If all of us were just good humans, like you don't even have to have American pride if you really just care about your fellow man.
Let's start at American. Let's start at American.
But you're right though. One nation could change everything.
That's it. Yeah. We did change everything.
I'm hearing about what's going on in Singapore. And I'm like, I gotta go see Singapore.
There we go.
People talking about Singapore like it's Wakanda.
It is Asian Wakanda.
That's what I'm hearing.
It is.
I want to go visit people. Like I want to go see what's popping in Singapore.
It's fascinating. Incredibly clean.
Have you been yet?
Yeah.
I did shows. Where'd you go?
Arkash and I went there. We went to Malaysia and Singapore. I'm a little bit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Yeah. We went. I mean, this is a few years back, but it was an interesting experience. It's like an Apple store. Like the place.
That's what they said. The whole place. They said it's even under a dome.
There's different parts. Yeah. I mean, like it's just a fascinating place. But like for me, I like Malaysia a little bit more. I'm built for.
She used to dance in Houston, right? She used to dance. What?
That's good.
What?
I'm lost.
The country Malaysia.
Oh.
Yeah. That's where she got her hair from. No, but like I like the third world a little bit more. Like I don't know. Like my energy is built for that. Like, and I think that's what America kind of has. Like America is the first world that's got the security and safety, but it's still got like the scammers, the hustlers. Like think about a crazy idea, you can make it happen here. Whereas like you look at like parts of Europe and like Singapore and that kind of shit, like where they have a little bit more structured society. It's hard to break the rules. There's a lot more like red tape and like bureaucracy that you got to deal with. Whereas in America, it's just like, ain't no rule yet. Like, right? Like how many like random like exercise powders and shit do they sell? And they're like, not FDA approved yet. And it's like, well, how the fuck are you selling it?
Yeah.
You trying it out. You elaborate.
Literally. And I kind of like that environment, so I preferred Malaysia to Singapore. But yeah, check it out.
There's a lot of
I can't wait
technology
to
over
go.
there.
Yeah, it's just like it's a nation state, so it's very small amount of people, and they can control everything, and they have like, it's one party, but it's basically a benevolent dictatorship. So like, what happens if you had a dictator, but they tried to make a society that was really good for the people instead of just being insane assholes?
What if you had that? What if you had? What if
I wish that was how
It works.
What if in America there was one person and we knew he was this person, this woman, man was a great human.
Yeah,
he was a great human. He cared about about
Obama.
everybody. I don't know if that was Obama.
I'll tell
would
you.
Would you let that person?
I'll
just
tell
run
you.
everything?
I'll tell you why that usually doesn't happen. Because the disposition in a human being to crave power is usually the not matched with the disposition in a human being to be benevolent or kind.
Yeah.
Like wanting power at all costs means that you don't actually care about all those others. Like, and that's what's so rare, to be honest. And I put you in this category, like Joe in this category. It's like, you guys are people that want, I don't want to say want success, but you guys are people who are immensely successful, but you still want to see other people shine.
That's the way.
Son, this is very rare, dude. This is very rare that people want to be successful and great and then want to see other people be great. That usually does not happen. And that's why you have so many people that are in those positions that are just kind of like selfish and like belittle other people. They become the old hater archetype, right? Like they're not ready to see the next generation thrive. You know what I mean? Like you look at a lot of people that I tell people all the time, like first time I saw Jesus Romero outside Twitter was on Charlemagne's show.
Yeah. That's
Do you know what I'm saying? Like me, you threw a lot of alley-oops. Like Charlotte's footprint on the people who are impactful in the game right now is hard to deny. And the same thing with Joe. Like you can't look at motherfuckers succeeding in stand-up right now. So it's like you guys have incredible drive for success, but you also have a lot of joy in seeing people win. That's rare, bruh.
I love it. I like throwing more assists than I do score
But
points.
you know that there are people hating on you on the come up. Why? They could have just thrown that lob. They could have been part of your success, right? They could have done songs with you. One thing that Drake does so well is that motherfucker does songs with all these new people that we don't even know about just yet.
Yeah.
So he throws them in the alley-oop, and then they all grow together. Instead of just being like, man, this new artist is trash. Fuck all this. Why we got to do it like that?
I'm just still having fun. I'm just out here, baby.
Yeah.
We just having fun. Let's pay some bills, do some asking idiots, man. Squarespace. Salute to Squarespace for sponsoring the Brilliant Idiots, man. Domains, websites, online stores, marketing tools. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. You'll find what you need, whether you're showcasing your work, blogging and publishing content, selling products and services, announcing upcoming events, or anything you can dream of. Buying a domain from Squarespace is easy because there are no hidden fees or price hikes, and get to know your audience with their analytics tools. Those include insight on page views, traffic sources, time on site, audience geography, and more. It's also simple, too. Start with a design template and use drag and drop tools to make it your own. All websites are optimized for mobile. Your site looks great on any device. Every Squarespace website and online store comes with a suite of integrated features and useful guides that help maximize prominence among search results. These SEO tools are paramount. Head to squarespace.com right now /idiot for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code IDIOT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com /idiot with offer code IDIOT for 10% off your first purchase. Let's get back to the show. Let's do some Asking Idiots,
Wait,
Taylor.
Hold on, did you go over Euphoria and Zendaya and all that? No?
I mean, Zendaya's amazing. Zendaya's incredible. Zendaya should motherfucking win every goddamn award they give out for acting. And Zendaya is a great role model for young black women.
Absolutely.
My daughter's 13 years old. My daughter literally said to me, you know who you should interview? I said, who? She said Zendaya.
Wow.
And I started to say, no shit, Squirt. But I was like, I said, yeah, that would be a good interview. And she was like, and when you do, I want to meet her. She's never said that to me about anybody.
Now, explain like the cultural effect of Euphoria, because I hear everybody talking about it. It seems to be crossing through all cultures. A little bit younger generation is into it, but it feels like their show.
I mean, it's giving us the classic things that we all love.
Okay.
It's reality.
It's drugs.
Okay.
It's sex.
Yes.
And it's violence. That's America.
Got it.
At least we got something to be proud of. Guys.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's giving us everything that we love. It's giving us
Relatable.
sex. It's giving us drugs. is giving us motherfucking violence.
Our high schools are so lit. Like, dude, high school everywhere else is so boring, huh?
Yes.
I don't know one like high school show from France or some other fucking place.
And
American high school, dude.
Yeah, and I said, and I said this. I was saying this. I said, yo, man, this show is giving us all of this, but it's giving it to us with a message. That's what we love. We love edginess with a motherfucking message. If you're edgy and you're entertaining us and you're giving a message, you'll win every motherfucking time.
What's the message?
The message is just, man, I like the way they address addiction. Like, put it like this. Everybody on there has an issue, right?
Yep.
Like whether it's the father who was bisexual,
The body.
you know, and sleeps with transgender. Well, he slept with a transgender. I don't know if that's his thing, but he slept with a transgender. I know he's bisexual. Or Zendaya and her addiction, or, you know,
Body form. What's that thing called? When you-
Body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name? Fez?
Yeah.
Fence, and why he's so violent and how he got to the drug game. They show you all of their origins, and they show you the trauma that led to them getting to where they are. Zendaya, we know that her father died, you know what I'm saying? And she's been dealing with the grief of her father. Like, this shit is just, it's not just mindless. That's why I didn't understand when Dare came at them, because I'm like, yo, Dare, y'all don't watch this show.
Who?
Dare.
The drug.
The drug and alcohol or whatever.
Oh, I thought you
It's
said
old shit.
There. And I was like, is this another
one?
Jesus,
Another one.
How many?
The show is great. I told my daughter, yo, you need to start watching this show.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I
she's
thought you were
13.
scared of her to watch it.
I mean, I think the message in it is so good, and it really does scare people
It's
from
good
drugs. That shit,
acting.
when they say they glorify drug use,
Yeah,
there's
like,
nothing.
I ain't doing this shit. Yeah.
Last weekend was ridiculous.
Thank God for the
Last
wire.
weekend,
Don't tell me I'm gonna watch.
yo, Rue learned everything from Spider-Man, bro.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna fucking tell you, bro. Rue was running through that neighborhood like she was the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, bro. That shit was incredible. She was going through withdrawal. That was her superpower,
She
bro.
got rid of 4 cops.
My God, she was scaling walls, dodging cars. Like, I was like, yo, she's Spider-Man. She got everything except for the fucking web shooting out of her wrist, man. Zendaya should win an award for that. I don't know what the fuck. Is that an Emmy? I don't know what the fuck.
She needs to win an Oscar. Fuck the. I know it's
Well,
not a
it's-
movie, but she needs to win an Oscar.
Well, that's not,
I'm
that's
just
not
saying.
possible. Taylor.
I'm just
I don't even
saying.
know what to say right now.
That's not,
Alex, put the camera on
that's
me.
not possible, Taylor.
Brilliant
I'm
Idiots
just
listeners
saying.
and watchers,
I'm
I am so
exaggerating.
sorry
Yo,
for
Tom
what she
Brady's
just
so
said.
good, he should win the NBA
I
championship.
hate
Yo, he
it.
really is,
He
bro.
really should.
He should
man.
too.
Honestly,
How did Tom Brady not win the MVP in the NBA? Yo?
They should make him president of China.
Yo, why not?
Tom Brady
Look,
should be president
why
of
not?
China,
Why
bro.
not?
The
Real talk.
exaggeration
Why
is
not?
real. She's a great actress.
Yeah,
For real.
but the Oscar isn't any better than the Emmy.
That's right.
They're just for different things.
That's
Emmys
it.
are for TV shows, and Oscars are for movies.
movies.
So, like,
I
if-
want her to win both.
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
So listen,
That's-
whoever
And an album.
I don't care.
whoever wins the Super
Yeah,
Bowl this
yeah,
year
yeah,
should win
yeah.
the NBA Finals too.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to give them both trophies, bro.
I think that we should.
Hey,
100%.
Look, my exaggerations is showing how much I enjoy her work.
Yeah. Should she win a Grammy too?
yeah, you got to
yes.
give her a Grammy. Yeah,
She
yeah,
sings.
yeah,
No, she does sing on there though.
What does she say?
She has a track. I don't know what the song's called, but
I ain't
she
never
does
heard
She was a singer.
She does.
No, she don't.
Yeah, she does. The last season she had that was her song.
What song?
Near the end of the show,
How does it go?
she was like, people thought she was dying.
She was rapping Tupac or something.
No, that was her song. All right, now I gotta look it up.
Can we do some Asking Idiots?
I'm a
please?
liar.
Yeah.
But she does sing though.
Taylor, just let's do the
Sorry,
Asking
y'all might be
Idiots,
sorry
my
about
darling.
it when I show y'all the song.
Why are we gonna be sorry?
Because that's a salty. Wait, before that, did you guys? I want to know your take on T.I. on stand up.
I think that listen, I like when everybody tries stand up, to be totally honest.
No, you don't.
I'm scared.
No,
Do you?
I'm not like those because stand up is so hard. I wish everybody did it because then they'd have respect for it.
That's right.
yeah.
So like,
I tried it. I sat my ass down.
see,
I
so
couldn't
you
even
respect
do
it,
it.
right?
That's right. That shit is no
I'm
joke.
scared to even try. That's how much I respect.
That's the thing. So it's like there are
Yeah.
people. What's
It's
up,
called All for Us.
Taylor? It's all good.
It is her.
We believe you. We believe you.
We
But we're
believe
moving on.
We believe everything you say, Taylor.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear.
Liar.
I think T.I.'s just trying to figure out what the next thing he's going to do in his life.
Because don't nobody want to see him in the verses. That's why.
Oh,
That's why everybody shook to death to see Tip in the verses, because you know he'll body 95% of y'all. So now he got to go out there and do stand up.
Yup.
That's what this is all about.
Yup.
But you know, are you going to be upset when he? Well, no, you don't care. You doing theaters. It'll
That's
be
the thing, like-
it'll be the other comedians who'll be mad. The guys who can't sell out comedy clubs.
Yeah.
T.I. can go anywhere right now and get 70 to 100,000 at a comedy club.
Like I think he'll do fine and he'll figure it out. I think it's really hard to be a creative person your whole life and then people go, all right, you don't need to make music anymore.
Mhm.
Like we're done buying your music or listening to your new music. I think it's really hard to just turn off that creative muscle. So I think for him to go, okay, let me work towards something with stand-up. Let me work towards something different. I think that makes sense for me as a creative. And I think that's the great thing about stand-up is like, you can do this shit until you're, Don Rickles was fucking almost 100 years old. So
it's good to reinvent yourself and change the product.
Yeah, just keep being creative, man.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you don't want T.I. to do stand-up, then you have to tell him that I bet you can't quit doing stand-up.
and then
Whatever you tell T.I. he can't do, Tip's going to do.
Yeah.
So if you want him to quit, you say, hey, I bet you can't quit stand-up.
Yeah.
And then,
Love it so
he'll
much.
stop.
What I would tell Tip is that you got to stop letting people videotape you.
Yeah, him working out.
Because it's like one, you're these aren't the best versions of your jokes. Two, you can't even work out the jokes if everybody's seen them.
That's right.
So it's like give yourself some time
right.
to grow the material.
That's right.
They want to post you. The second they see you, they gotta post you.
Why hasn't Duval told him this?
Maybe he has.
You want him to lose?
Listen, man. Either you can't lose with me because I like when you good, I like when you funny, and I like when you bum.
Yeah.
Both.
So either way, I'm dying laughing. You can't
funny,
lose with me.
you're right. If you funny, you actually more funnier when
That's
you
right.
lose.
I told y'all this before. When I go to stand-up shows, I'm either really intently listening, and I'm like, oh shit, that was so smart. Or if it's really, really super funny, I'm like, oh shit, but I'm gonna laugh, but I never try to laugh too hard because I know that sometimes it's something else after it.
Yeah.
But if you're bombing, if I'm the only person in the club laughing, I promise you're bombing. And I love it. I love it too. I love you like, ha ha ha. People be looking at me like, that must be Charlamagne's cousin or something. That must be Charlamagne's friend or something, yo. I'm like, no, I just like seeing people bombing. Like that one person.
That white girl.
Oh my God, who was doing the impersonations? Oh, that shit was so funny, man.
No, y'all haven't seen the funniest one.
Yeah.
No, we was at the show.
Yeah.
When I say she was up there losing.
I was there.
Oh my God.
Where?
I don't remember her name.
I forgot her name.
She was when I say she was up there losing, bro.
She must have been that bad.
And no one was laughing. All you hear is Charlamagne.
Y'all seen this? Watch this one. This is a
I did
different
see
thing.
this. I see this one.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring her up.
Booster.
Oh, Heather McDowell?
You want me to
Say
put it?
that. I didn't
I'll
watch
just
it
put
yet.
it back up.
You say
Double vaxxed. Booster.
Double vax.
Flu shot.
Flu shot.
And
Everything.
I'm going to be honest. I have the shingle shot too.
Shingles.
And I still get my period. What? Yes.
Wow.
Wait for it.
Traveled. Went to Mexico twice. Did shows, meet and greets. Never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
What?
Why
Did she
y'all
pass out?
laughing though?
She passed out.
Yo,
though?
you hear the dude
Okay.
laughing?
No,
in the back,
man.
They thought that it was a
bit.
joke.
No, man.
The audience.
I thought she said she fractured her skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
she
she
fractured her
fucked-
skull,
yeah.
but like they of
herself
course
up.
thought it was a joke because she's talking about I got all these vaccines, etc. And then you pass out. That seems like
You gotta
a kinda
bend your
stupid
knees,
joke.
man. You gotta bend your knees.
Her shit locked, and then
Wow. You heard that? You heard that shit?
I never seen somebody fall so hard when they were
hit
already
a carpet
so
on the
close.
fucking stage.
Lord have mercy. Give me some ass. Let's do a couple ass games to get out of here. I gotta get out of here to 1:30. What we got? This is a good one. Does full independence kill censorship? That's by CU Art. No, it does not. Because as I always tell y'all, you can say whatever you want, and you can have all the free speech you want, but you're not free of the consequences of said speech or the reactions of said speech. There is always going to be this. Like there's always going to be outrage. There's always going to be noise. So full independence does not kill censorship. There's always going to be somebody calling for you to be silenced in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. independence helps because it puts pressure on industry to make their rules malleable so they can compete with you.
That's fact.
So that's why independence, I think, is very good. But like Charlamagne said, like there's always going to be people trying to silence you because they disagree with your views. So, or they just don't like how powerful or influential you are.
That's the funny thing about Rogan, right? It's like, okay, let's just say, hypothetically, which won't happen, Spotify removes Rogan.
Yeah, not happening.
They still got to cash him out.
Yep.
And he'll just go back to doing his podcast the way he was.
Or get another crazy bag somewhere else. Like
if he even wants to. It's like, you go back, he's in Austin. That's his studio, guys.
Yeah.
That he had before this. Like, it's just like, he'll just go back to doing what he was doing. It's
also,
like,
this is just so successful. I mean, it's just the best possible thing for the podcast. Like, everybody's going to listen to it. We were all joking around with Akash. We're like, how does it feel to be on, like, potentially the most listened to Rogan episode ever?
Listen.
Like, the one that he came back on, Akash was just on Rogan for anybody who was.
I didn't see it, but I saw him on it.
But like,
definitely see it now.
Literally, it's like the episode where he's going to come back and then talk about what had happened to him. It just happens to be the one.
We played a clip this morning on Breakfast Club.
There we go.
With Akash talking.
Let's go.
And I said, that annoying voice you hear talking with Rogan. It's Akash sitting.
Akash.
You know, but it's just like, I mean, I just don't, I don't know, man. Which some still, I'm not even getting into that. What else we got?
What's the best age to get married as a man?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
38.
I got married at what, 20? I got married at
I'm 38.
2015?
Oh, I think you're going to say
2014?
20.
So 8 years ago? How old was I?
38.
43 now. It was 43 minus 8. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I got married in my 30s. You get married when you want to get married, man. You get married whatever age you want to get married, man.
Yeah.
I
After
say
20s.
After 20?
After the 20s.
You're not a man.
Nah.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
Nah,
The
I
question
think
is, what's the best age to get married for a man?
Why can I answer?
I don't think it should be an age.
Yo, this girl's crazy, bro. Yeah. Yo, this girl is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's an age.
Unbelievable. I think Zendaya should get a Michelin star for her performance on Euphoria.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be an age. I think you get married when you feel like I will leave for the last 2 years of my meat. Like you feel like you got 2 years left of your meat being good, then you do it.
No.
You be like, I'm gonna give her the last of it before it start having problems. Like you start using Viagra.
Yeah. Well, she definitely gonna fuck a younger man.
I mean, that's what happens. So that's why you need to give her the last.
There's gonna be
two.
a younger man with thick eyebrows, young thick Dominican with thick eyebrows.
Probably. I don't care.
Yes, you do.
I mean,
Yeah,
what
you
supposed
would
to do?
care,
If
bro.
you know something's gonna
I gotta see
come.
Wax get his heart broke. For
I know.
But
me
why you
too.
want this so bad?
Payback,
Payback for
gotta
what, though? I
see
really
for
did.
breaking hearts. That's
I
reparations.
just gotta see it one time. man.
Reparations.
Before I die at the tender age of 100, I gotta see Wax get his heart broke.
You're gonna get
Listen,
your
you
heart
don't even
broke,
know if
bro.
I get
You
my heart
never
broke
got
all the
your heart-
time. I get my heart broke all the time.
Nah.
Oh, no, you don't.
What you mean? What you want?
No, I'm not gonna lie. Shorty did break your heart.
Ooh.
Shorty,
Girl.
yeah. Yeah, when you was out there getting your Kanye on, bro.
It's all good.
It's supposed to happen.
It's gonna
That's
happen.
only
bro.
did to grow me.
What happened? What
I really don't know what happened, but I'll take it. Because if it already happened, I mean my karma already gone, so thank you.
Nah, you was in love. You was in love. It's okay. It's okay.
That's crazy.
I think we've did. We've done it here, guys.
Take it.
We've done it, right?
Wait,
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Do you guys have Super Bowl predictions?
Defense wins
Dallas Cowboys gonna
championships.
win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, defense wins championships. Offense wins, pays get the tickets. So I look at the Rams. Defense wins championships. Offense sell tickets. So I think the Bengals got better offense. They're going to lose, and defense is going to win with the Bengals. I mean, with the Rams. Yes.
I bet on Joe Burrows.
I don't even know
Whatever
what
the
that
fuck
is.
his name is. That motherfucker's bad. That motherfucker got magic with him. Okay? He's
That's the
different.
Bengal guy?
Yes. That guy's different. He's been different since college. Yes, I do believe defense wins championships, but
wins championships.
Them Bengals look like a team of destiny, bro.
Mm.
That Joe.
If they could get past Donald and Miller and all them over there, it's a little different, man.
But don't listen to me. I'm a Cowboy fan.
Me too.
Yeah.
So what the fuck do I know? Okay.
I just know what defense does.
You got a prediction
For the Super Bowl?
Mhm.
I don't care. I
hear
genuinely do not care about it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Fuck whoever.
Looking forward to the halftime show though.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to how, and I hope they take it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope nobody tripping.
I hope they don't do the cute shit. I hope they come out there and give us those 90s problematic rap tunes.
Probably not gonna
They're
happen.
gonna be scared too.
Why would they be scared?
Because of what's going on in the world right now.
Nah, they not scared. Those three ain't scared.
Huh?
Those three not scared.
The independents.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg could do anything.
Those three not scared.
Snoop Dogg.
We'll see though.
Snoop Dogg really can't do anything.
We'll see.
God bless Snoop Dogg.
Sinbad.
As always, if you listen. As always.
That's it right there. That's it. Done. That's it. Done.
Yeah, we don't even need to go. Whatever. Just go. Like, what the fuck, man?